Today, unsurprisingly, we're going to go on an adventure. More surprisingly is exactly the way that that's going to take place. Up next. What is up, everybody? This is Everything Board Games, and I am your host, Paul, the Techno Funk Boy. Today, we're going to be looking at a tabletop role-playing game that is a GM-less adventure that you are able to play solo or with a few friends. This is Brambletrek. Now, one thing about this that's going to stick out right away, if you've been following this channel, you might be looking at it going, Akeroth, I recognize that, which is good, which means you've been watching my videos. I did kind of a reaction to the Akeroth campaign setting a couple of months ago, and it is I'll go ahead and put the link up here. I was pretty excited about it then, and the more I see from Akeroth, the more excited I'm getting. Now, let's not confuse the two. The campaign setting is something that you can kind of put in your more traditional, in your Dungeons and Dragons rules, Pathfinder rules type of an adventure. This game is more customized for a particular experience, and that's what we're going to take a look at more today. Now, if you're not familiar with a GM-less role-playing game, it's fairly self-explanatory. You don't need a GM for it. The rules are going to kind of self-enforce and make make adjudications along the way. You can playing solo, which is the way I played it. Playing solo, you are at the whim of the dice, except in this case we're not going to be using dice. We're actually going to be using a deck of cards, but you're going to be drawing cards and then checking to see what this means for what happens, what your action does. And so, as I mentioned before, I did get an advanced copy of this that I did play solo. That copy was provided to me for the purposes of this review. I really do appreciate the opportunity to take a look at it. Ashik Aziz is the writer for this, and this did not take the form that I was expecting, and that's definitely not necessarily a bad thing. Getting into actually how this goes is, to play, you're going to need a journal, you're going to need a character sheet, and you're going to need your deck of cards. Now, the journal is really the important part here. We're going to be getting that into that as we go. So the first thing is your character. And you are going to be playing what the game calls a gnawborn. This is, kind of taking the form of a mouse. Y'all picked up on that from the cover. I do understand. But a seer, a scrapper, a seeker, or a storyteller, and each one of these are going to have particular strengths and weaknesses, and all the book is really going to give you direction on is that you're going on an adventure. You're leaving home. You can draw cards to kind of figure out what that means, why, where you're going, what you're trying to accomplish, what your background is. But so much of your character is going to be for you to kind of figure out either up front or on the way. When you set off on your quest, you're going to draw cards to dictate what obstacle you encounter next. And a lot of them can be very simple, and a lot of them can be much more complex. typically, if you draw one of the black suits, that is not a friendly encounter, and the red suits are. But these encounters can range from, oh, you fall and injure yourself, you take a couple of points of hit points, or or something like that, or you spend some time. This was actually one of my favorites. There's a light rain that lifts your spirits, type of a thing, to the much more complex, which is you enter a battle, and then you'll continue to use the cards to play out the way this battle happens. And so, in a lot of ways, you are observing this. Where you really come in is the journal. And this is where I think that Brambletrek is going to find a very particular audience, but one that is going to absolutely love this game. And the reason is because the game is going to give you a basic framework of what happens, but putting meat on those bones is your job. And you do that through the journal. You are, in fact, narrating the story of your Gnawborn. And you can do that as briefly or as flowery as you'd like. But this is where this game is really going to really going to either wildly succeed or falter with you, is how much you get into this part. If you are excited to play out this story and to basically journal it all out, if this is something that you get, that you really apply yourself to, you're going to get a lot out of this game. If that sounds miserable to you, this isn't the game for you. I do encourage you to take a look at the that link I put up earlier, that Akeroth campaign setting. That might be more up your alley. One of the things I'm kind of digging about Akeroth is that it as it expands, it looks like there's going to be a little bit for everybody here, which is really cool. But if this is the sort of thing that appeals to you, then there's going to be a lot here. One of the things I actually really do like about it is that not every encounter is big, and a lot of them are intended to be profound in simple ways. I mentioned earlier that the refreshing rain, that is something that is intended to mean something to your Gnawborn. And drawing that out is where the journal is going to come in. This is definitely a stop and smell the roses type of a game. This is most definitely the journey is its own reward type of a game. It is intended that that the trail go on and on, and that that the things that happen upon it, shape your character a little bit. Through there's going to be times where the cards are going to land in a certain way that you're going to just breeze through stuff and there's excess there, and then there's going to be parts where, boy, they're just not falling, and you're going to be having to stop and rest more often, and really kind of take things easier, and it seems to me in reading this is all intentional. This is supposed to be taking your character through different seasons that is going to pull more out of the character and flesh him or her out a bit more. So all that to say, if to reiterate, because I do think that this is a particular audience type of a game. There's not going to be a lot of player agency when it comes to laying down the cards. Where you, the player, are really going to shine is in the journaling, is in the storytelling, and that's where if you really do apply yourself and get into it, there's going to be reward there, and there's going to be a lot of fun there. So, like I mentioned before, the links are down below. I do encourage you to check out this this adventure. The Kickstarter does have some time left off on it. It has met goal, and so this is one of those where we are going to see the product at the end, and so I'm really happy to see that, and I'm looking forward to more from Akeroth, and I'm really excited to learn more about this place, because this is my second look into things, and I've been encouraged by what I see both times. So keep it up, and links are below. Everythingboardgames.com, please check that out. We've got reviews going up all the time. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Hit that like button, the bell icon, leave a comment, and really like hearing from y'all. And so otherwise, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Take care.